Hey there, it's Steve from SeriKeto, and in this video, I'm going to give you my review of the ChefMaker Combi-Oven by DREO. Over the last month or so, I have had a number of keen-eyed viewers that have noticed a new appliance behind me. That would be the ChefMaker by DREO. And people have been asking, what do you think of it? But before I dive into the review, I gotta tell you, every month, without fail, I will be contacted by some company that wants to send me some sort of oven or air fryer or some sort of combination cooker for review. And every time I say no. I mean, I've got an Instant Pot, I've got the ANOVA Precision Oven, and I had the Ninja Foodie Grill Combo something. So why did I decide to say yes to the ChefMaker? Well, there were a few features that I really felt were kind of intriguing about it. First off, it's got a water ionizer, so it can do sort of a low, slow, moist cook, kind of like sous vide. It also has a ton, an absolute ton of built-in recipes that really kind of take all the guesswork out of it. So I told DREO if they are willing to accept a fair and honest review, go ahead, send me a ChefMaker, I'll try it out. So here we go, starting with the unboxing. All right, let's unbox this thing. All right, right at the very top, we have a quick start guide. This is a fairly heavy paper stock too. This is nice. I don't know if you can see it's like a coated sort of paper, you know, so if you were to spill something on it, it wouldn't soak through, I don't think. Second little booklet, the Cook and Marinade Guide. Cooking tray. User manual and little social media card. The cook probe. All right. We have a few little warning labels. Inside we have another basket. Oh, this not only slides out, it completely comes out. So I imagine if you were doing something like French fries and you wanted to kind of give it the old saute trick, you could. All right, I'm gonna wash up all of the parts, figure out where, if any place on my counter, I can actually fit this thing, and then we're gonna start putting it through its paces. I've washed the pan and the rack, and now I've got the system in burn-off mode, just to burn away, I guess, any funky smells or anything like that. Now, I'll let you kind of listen to how loud it is. I would put that probably at an exhaust fan, like a stovetop exhaust fan like this, on low. That's probably about the noise it makes. It's definitely not silent. I would say it's maybe a little bit louder than my Ninja air fryer. When I was doing the burn-in part of the setup on the ChefMaker, I was a little bit concerned about the noise. That concern was unfounded. For the most part, this is a pretty silent machine, except at the very end of cooks where it's doing sort of the browning or searing of a steak or whatever piece of meat you're using. For my first cook, I decided to do some fillets of beef tenderloin that I coated all up with butter and seasoning. And then using the app, I just went under the most popular, which is Perfect Steak, and selected that. Now, what's wild is it shows you all of the different steps. It's a very visual recipe guide. Pretty slick. This app in general, pretty slick. So I followed the visual guide, sent the recipe from the app to the ChefMaker, and made my steaks. Here are my steaks all buttered and seasoned up. I'll pop these into the ChefMaker, and the program starts. At this point, I gotta spend a little bit of time waiting for it to calculate how long it'll be until my steaks are done. And continue to wait. And after about 5 minutes, it tells me it's gonna take 1 hour and 21 minutes until my steaks are ready. At 18 minutes, it kicks into pre-sear mode. I'll turn on the interior light and see if we can take a look here. With the grill basket, it is kind of hard to really get a good view of the steaks. At 5 minutes, it goes into full-out browning mode. Again, I'll try and take a look and see if we can see it. Not very well. And they are finished, or at least it says they're finished. But to me, that's not quite the exterior I'm looking for. I need a little bit more crust on that. So I'm going to manually go into classic cook mode, go to air fry, ratchet all the way to the highest temperature, which is 450 Fahrenheit, and let her rip. Right now though, the probe says only 107 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well below medium rare. And after about 10 minutes, the steaks are finally looking closer to my preference for the exterior. I'm going to let them rest though on a plate for a minute, tented, while I get the rest of dinner prepared, and then we're going to give them a taste. So this is, I think, probably at the high end of well. I don't know if the extra searing that I tried to do caused this. I'm not sure, but here we go. Definitely overdone. Okay.
We'll see how it tastes. Really good.
You like it? Mm-hmm. Well, you like your steaks done a little bit more than I like mine done. Mm. But you like this? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now the thing is, this was a tenderloin, so not a lot of fat in it, so it can kind of dry out, especially at higher temperatures. So next time we'll probably have to try this with a nice ribeye or New York strip. What do you think? Cool? Mm-hmm. When I make steaks, I will typically cook them sous vide. So true sous vide, I vacuum seal them and I cook them in a water immersion bath, and then I sear them on some ripping hot cast iron. So I like getting a really nice exterior crust on my steak. And unfortunately, by the time I had air fried those fillets of tenderloin to get the right exterior, I had driven up the interior temperature just way too high for my liking. So for my next test, I decided to do some ribeyes. And let's take a look at how this performed on the ribeyes. I'm liking the exterior on this better than on the tenderloin. One issue though I do have, unlike the Ninja, it doesn't seem to get the undersides quite as well. I put a little butter on these and tented them, let them rest. Let's slice them up and see what the inside looks like. You can already see the juices. That's one thing this really excels at. These steaks are always super juicy. And the color on that, looking pretty good. All right, the color on this is definitely medium rare. So I feel like maybe there's something I could do to get a better crust on this. Another little issue that I have with the ChefMaker is that the undersides of the steaks don't get browned nearly enough. So I feel like for steaks using the chef mode recipes, I've always got to do a little bit of additional tweaking to get it to where I want it to be. Like flip the steaks over and get the underside, or give it a little bit of extra time under the broiler so that I can get that nice crust. Now fortunately, what just came out last week, and I haven't had time to play with it yet, is this new Creative Cooks mode, where you can create your own program. So for example, maybe I cook the steak a little bit less and then extend the air fry or broil time to get that crust that I want. I don't know yet if I can build in a little bit of a pause or an alarm where when the steak is browning, it can tell me, okay, open up the basket and flip it over and get the underside. But I'm definitely excited about this new Creative Cooks mode. Additionally, anybody who creates their own recipe using the Creative Cooks mode can share an 8-digit code online with other people who then can use that and add that to their favorite recipes. So I'm sure I'm going to be out on the DREO ChefMaker user group on Facebook, kind of trying out some of those. Next up, I decided to pit the ChefMaker versus my ANOVA Precision Oven using each one's built-in program for chicken wings. Now you can set the ChefMaker either from the phone app or right here on the control panel here. There's a number of recipes. I'm just going to scroll down until I find chicken wings. And you'll notice the basket on this holds about 8 to 10 wings is all. Fire it up, and in 26 minutes, we'll have our wings. And when I'm not using the grill tray, it's actually a lot easier to see through the window and see how things are cooking up.
How about the flaps?
And check them out. And listen to that sizzle. So this wing was done in the ANOVA precision oven using their wings preset. This one was done in the DREO ChefMaker. Skin, pretty crispy. Meat, tender. Solid. The DREO. The skin, not quite as crisp, but this is incredibly tender, incredibly juicy. I kind of think like if I went another minute of air fryer time on this, it would be fantastic. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. All right, give it a try. Tell me what you think.
Good.
Good?
Mhm.
That's your review?
Good and crispy and juicy.
All right, that's a good combination, right?
Yes.
So I let this go an extra 3 minutes on air fry. A little more crisp on the skin. Still, the tenderness on this is crazy. I've never gotten this out of an air fryer. I mean, this is almost like I brined it, and I did not brine this chicken. So juicy. Now also, in addition to chef mode, there is classic mode. So if you want to just be in charge of time and temperature and what sort of heat you're getting, there's air fry, defrost, reheat, broil, roast, toast, bake, and dehydrate. Now I haven't tried out all those features, but let me tell you, the reheat feature is fantastic. One of the things that I like about this, actually it's sort of a double-edged sword. The unit itself is kind of small. You can't put a whole lot in there like you saw with the wings, but it heats up fast. I mean, there's not even a preheat on it. You just turn it on, let it rip, and for things like reheating some wings and some jalapeno poppers, 4 minutes and it's done. Plus, the other kind of cool thing is if you're not using the grill basket, it is a lot easier to see through that window down below. I have some bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos in there, as well as some leftover wings, some little drummies. Looking wonderful. And after 4 minutes, they're ready to go. Very efficient. So what are my overall impressions of the ChefMaker, and who do I think is the ideal customer for it? Well, first, let me talk about the things that I'm less happy about. First off is sort of the timing aspect, as it calculates how long it's going to take to cook something. That can take a solid 5 minutes of waiting. And as a result, you kind of need to plan your other food, side dishes, etc. around the ChefMaker. Now with the Creative Cooks mode, that does get kind of fixed in a way, because you could select to just sous vide a steak and hold it at temperature until everything else is ready, and then sear it separately on cast iron. Now in terms of the overall browning / searing, including the underside of steaks, this is going to be something that I'm going to have to experiment with more, especially using this Creative Cooks mode. I'm optimistic that I'll be able to address that. And I had also mentioned before the size. The basket on this, not huge. I would not consider this an ideal unit for a family of 4. In fact, it's barely big enough for just Terry and me. I mean, steak-wise, you might have a hard time fitting 2 decent-sized ribeyes in here. 2 New York strips, not that big of a problem. In terms of wings, you're looking probably 8 to 10 wings in terms of space. So if you're single or there's just 2 of you in the household, I think it's probably right-sized. Price-wise, the ChefMaker is premium priced. I will include a link down below to Amazon so you can see what the regular price is. However, I have negotiated with DREO a very special deal. I think it's only for the next month though. Using my coupon code and the link down below directly on the DREO site, you can get $150 off the price of this unit. Now, as I recorded this video, the link was only giving me 140 off, which is still a good deal, but I'm trying to work with their tech support people to figure out why my coupon code isn't working properly. Ultimately, for me, the ChefMaker has earned a place on my countertop instead of the Ninja. It's a really good unit, and I'm very excited to try out the Creative Cooks mode. And certainly as I get deeper into that mode and either have some pros or cons I want to share with you, I'll likely do a follow-up video. If you found this review helpful or interesting, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. And like I said, as I play around with this unit some more, you can look for a follow-up video. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.